They're in the mix. No real impact. Now, let's talk about something that is impact because, yes, Ja's not coming to Toronto. And that's thankfully he's not because the Toronto Raptors, the faithful, yeah, we are in talks right now with the Clippers. Why? Because we are reuniting. We want to reunite. We are reuniting. We're rekindling the flame to bring back Kawhi home. The Drake album showed very clearly that DeMar wasn't the man, but Kawhi is the man. And we're thanking Pop for sending him to us for that 1 year when we win the title. Now Scotty Barnes is licking his chops because the news is brewing. Kawhi might be back in town. Sorry for RJ Barrett. Sorry for Brandon Ingram. Yes, they're knocking their knees a little bit shaking right now because they know someone's got to go if Kawhi's coming into town. And Grady Dick, sorry, we love you. Got to go. CMB, we're not quite sure. Might have to go. But if that's the case, sorry, too sad. We want Kawhi back. Even at the age of 34, 35, with the investigation going on, Steve Ballmer, he's ready to say goodbye. Kawhi was great while it lasted. We made a big mistake. We brought Paul George into our equation of trying to make things happen.
Whoa,
And
whoa,
Paul
whoa,
George
whoa, whoa,
DNA
whoa, whoa,
is the
whoa! I
reason
gotta
why
stop.
we
I
failed.
gotta stop
So I'm
the
asking you,
foolishness coming out
Karen.
of your
Yeah,
mouth.
bring it in.
I gotta stop the
Let's hear it. Let's
foolishness.
hear it. Let's hear it.
You would part with CMB to get Kawhi? What? That is what? So you're telling me you'd be willing now to not only have to, because you're obviously gonna have to part with Brandon Ingram, right, or
No,
RJ as one of the
hold on a
top.
second. Hold on a second. Brandon, RJ, or CMB. Not all three.
No, but CMP doesn't make no money to be able to do that. So
Right.
so
So
that
if
would
you
mean
hear
it
that,
would
so
be
he's
two
not
of
in
them.
the equation. But I'm just saying, if we have to, we're willing to do that.
No, but
That's what
that
I'm
doesn't make
saying.
sense because it's money. So it's either RJ or Brandon Ingram as the number one guy in the deal.
Yeah.
CMB would be secondary then,
No, no, no.
which would be crazy to me.
We have
Of course
Jacoby
he would.
Walter. We have
If you're
Jacoby
talking about
Walter.
if you're talking
We
about
have
adding
Jacoby
CMB,
Walter. No, no, no. We have a bench. We have Jacoby Walter. We have our new draft pick. We also have Grady Dick. And we have the Yak Attack. No. We don't have to trade CMB. And I'm not suggesting
well,
we get rid of CMB.
you
All I'm
said you would
saying,
be willing to. You
I
said you'd be
would.
willing to.
I
So
would.
so instead
Kyron.
so the reality is instead of Grady Dick, it would be CMB. That's who would be swapping really in the deal.
Okay. Okay.
So instead of Grady, you'd put in CMB.
Okay.
So Brandon Ingram, CMB, a couple of draft picks. You would
Okay.
do that for Kawhi
Hold
Leonard.
on. Hold on. Number one, yes, I would. And number two, hold on. Let me tell you this.
Wow.
Hold on a second.
Wow.
Okay, hold on a second. Karen,
Uh,
it's a league
Okay.
of what have you done for me lately? You see
Mm-hmm.
people making moves. I'm not thinking that CMB is going to get traded, but we did pick up a 6'9" rookie who possibly could play the role of CMB. We don't know, but I'm just saying if we got rid of CMB, we have someone potentially could learn from a Kawhi
No,
Leonard. I'm just saying. Oh,
not the same player.
it's not the same. And
No,
Karen,
he
I'm not
doesn't.
suggesting we
He's
move
not physical. He's not a
CMB.
rebounder. He's not
But
a
if
president. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm not married to CMB, but I wouldn't just move him along as a toss in a deal at this point.
and he's not a
I
tosser.
I
He's
would
shown
think
that he's
if
not a
if
tosser.
you're
He's
moving
a
him,
top
you're moving him
talent.
for something of value.
Okay, let's take
Like
CMB out the
we're getting rid
position.
of Jakob Pertl. Like I'm moving him. I need to be getting rid of Pertl. I need to be getting rid of IQ. I need to be getting something substantial and potentially getting rid of a headache.
Okay, so
But just to
Karen,
be tossing him in on a deal is
okay, so
wow. That
let
is
me retract that statement then, because we all understand that Kawhi operates with Uncle Dennis, which means that there
mhm.
are some slimy tactics. Now, you said CMB is out the equation. I'm going to take him out the equation based on this. Right now, who has the leverage? Kawhi Leonard has the leverage. Why? 1 year left on his deal, right? And he's
He
going to
is.
go. He has 1 year left on his deal, and he can go to the Lake Clippers and say, "Guess what? The only team I'm going to want to go to are the Raptors." Why is that important? Because no team's going to want to trade for Kawhi and then he leaves after next year because he only has one team.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we obviously have the leverage because he wants to come to Toronto. And in this NBA, your window is about 2 to 3 years to get it right. So I'm saying if we can get Kawhi, have him with Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, we're saying bye to RJ Barrett, we're saying bye to Quickly, we're saying bye to some picks, but we're keeping CMB, and we have our draft pick. I think this could be a team to be reckoned with. We were top 5 in defense in the Eastern Conference. I think that we are poised to really make a big push. You don't tell me that you're not excited about moving in this direction?
Well, again, like the reports from Shams and stuff pretty much have the framework of Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, picks, and some other filler contracts or something. The amount of picks is we're unsure of at this point. I would assume
sure
probably
that Ingram's going instead of RJ Barrett. Are we sure? Because
it would have to, either way, it would have to be one of the two, right?
Okay.
And me personally, I would assume they would rather part with Brandon Ingram. The amount of money they owe him. RJ has 1 year left on the deal. A little more flexibility again. Canadian kid, and a guy who steps up in the playoffs. So I think the Raptors would rather attach their future with RJ as opposed to Ingram. However, now, the amount of first-round picks would definitely give reason for pause in this deal, along with any mention of CMB, for me personally. But for you, I won't speak for you because you've already said that you might move CMB in this deal. You hope that Quickly. I know that they're not taking Quickly. Quickly and Jakob are two nightmares that we're gonna have to potentially live with for a few years, unless we attach first round draft picks. Then maybe we might get a team to bite. But outside of that, those two guys and their atrocious contracts are probably stuck in Toronto for a little bit.
Now, we have to take into consideration, we've seen a lot of movement in the NBA so far. We've seen Giannis get traded for virtually nothing. We've seen Mikal Bridges get traded for virtually nothing. We've seen LaMelo Ball get traded virtually for nothing. We've seen Julius Randle be traded to the Nets virtually for pennies on the dollar.
Remember that deal now working out, it's going to be pretty much.
Hold on a second.
Randall traded in the LaMelo package.
But
again,
what we're seeing in the league is we're seeing name brand talents, people coming up to expiring contracts, being moved for modest rewards. Let's just say it, because this new NBA, it's not. If your team's in last place, you get the best picks. If your team is in last place,
it's better you play for not what you used to be able to get. You're not. That's not the same packages you used to be able to get.
So knowing that, we don't have to assume that Brandon Ingram or RJ are going anywhere. We can just assume that, hey, some picks and some future considerations, that's good enough. We don't know.
But you need money. Money's got to add up too, right? This is not the NFL, right? Money's got to add up in some fashion.
RJ's due for a big contract, so the money could add up very quickly. And I'm not quick to say that the Raptors are willing to say, okay, you know what, Brandon Ingram, because of the money you're owed, we're going to get rid of you. No, because people are going to get paid. This is NBA. There's a lot of money in the NBA.
The money has to match in the deal, right? So you can't just trade picks and thing unless you have an exception.
We're talking about 2 or 3 players here that are trying to make not even max contract. You're talking about mid to high level dollars. Look at New York Knicks. They have max contracts, max everywhere. So Karen, I know you have your concerns.
Remember, Jalen Brunson took less, man. That's what it was able to make it happen.
But if you look at what everyone else is paid, you package 2 players up, they equal max dollars. Brunson and Bridges, that's max. You got Cat, he's getting max dollars. You got OG, that's max dollars. You got max dollars. That's what I'm trying to say. They got a lot of people making big big dollars. So so when you really look at it, Toronto does have the money. Toronto, if it can be done, it will be done. They can play around with contracts.
Not
to make
how
it
the
happen.
cap works.
I know you're
Again,
saying
there's
it's
so
not
much
how the cap
restrictions
works.
too. The restrictions, the second apron restrictions. So not every team is operating in the same with the same capabilities,
all
right?
I'm saying is, Karen, they can make it happen. Scotty Barnes read up already. Bi has read up. RJ Barrett is on the clock to get read up.
So okay, all right, okay. I'm gonna play with you. I'm gonna go down your fantasy lane for a little bit. So in your world, what do you envision? What lineup would you envision, and how would the Raptors end up getting Kawhi Leonard?
Okay, in my world, you're looking to ship RJ Barrett quickly.
Okay, RJ's making $30-something million. Yes.
He's up for a new contract that's going to bring him up to Kawhi's money. So it's going to equal out. RJ, quickly, Dick, picks. I'll even throw in Pirtle in there and a center swap, maybe, if that's possible. And that should be enough to get it done.
Okay, now I got to ask you a question. Why would the Clippers do that?
Because you stand to get nothing if Kawhi says, okay, fine, don't trade me. I'll just let it know I want to go to Toronto and I'm not going to any other team.
So the Clippers would be better off just letting him walk at that point. Why would you take on Jakob for another 4 or 5 years at his atrocious cost?
Risk the fact
quickly another guy with another $30 million for 3 more years. Like, why would them and they already have a starting point guard?
Okay, good question.
No sense.
Why do they want to do that? You want to ask me
why
they want to do that?
Why would they do that?
Steve
Quickly and Jakob both suck. Terrible contracts.
Steve Ballmer wants to win, right? You're saying if they say, okay, Kawhi, we're not going to honor you and we're going to just hold on to you, what's Kawhi going to do?
Why wouldn't they just re-sign Kawhi?
Just
re-sign him instead of taking on those bad contracts.
And Kawhi's going to say, no, I'm not. He wants to go to Toronto. You know the investigation's heating up.
No,
he has to leave.
He wants to use Toronto as leverage. That's what he wants to do. He wants to use Toronto as leverage.
34 years old, that ship has
sailed. Come on, you gotta see that.
That's what you're saying, Karen, but you know he wants to leave.
No, you don't know that. Why would he?
You can't rebuild with Kawhi Leonard. You're not. He's going to hold the franchise hostage. You know that.
It's not about that. But
of course it is.
What I'm saying is, if the Clippers are going to make a crazy deal like that, take on Jakob and IQ and foolish craziness like that, you're better off just spending the money and re-signing Kawhi and at least having a star-level player.
Not necessarily. You're rebuilding. You're getting picks along with that, right? And right now,
yeah, but that's bad money though too. Jakob is $100 million for 4 or 5 more years.
I'm just throwing Jakob in there as piece of the.
No,
of
you
the
can't
trade.
throw Jakob in there because he's one of the worst contracts in the league. So when you say things like that, it's you got to be very careful because you're literally talking about one of the worst contracts in the league.
And Dick and picks. RJ quickly.
Grady.
And
they're not taking quickly. No, they have a point guard, and they just drafted a guy with the ball handler.
RJ, Dick, and picks.
RJ, Grady, and picks. Yeah, that's pretty much
a plethora of first.
And that's pretty much what the offer is, right? Or Brandon Ingram. Ingram and RJ are interchangeable, probably.
Yeah, but because we need more help up front court, I think the Toronto Raptors would probably want to hold on to Brandon Ingram simply because we are struggling up front. We really are struggling up front.
Because again, the only way I can see Jakob or IQ being involved in the deal would probably mean adding
a center
for each one of them is 2 first-round draft picks probably to get rid of them. Would you be willing to tag on 2 more first-round draft picks?
I've been to enough Toronto Raptors games to say yes, I would do that.
Okay, so when it's all said and done, you give up probably 4 first-round draft picks in a Kawhi deal.
With the leverage that Toronto has, we don't have to offer more than
There is no leverage in Toronto.
Well,
Toronto
then we don't need it. We are offering 2 first rounds and RJ Barrett and a toss in Grady Dick. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all.
That sounds about right.
What did Giannis go for? What did Giannis go for?
What did they say? 3 first rounds,
Two
first
first
rounds,
rounds.
and three
And you're
swaps.
gonna tell me that Kawhi's
Swaps.
more than what Giannis got? Come on, you're just trying to stir the pot because you're like, whoa. But if Giannis didn't go for all that, and Giannis is younger, better, more talented, Clippers are not gonna get more than RJ Barrett. Come on. This is new NBA, like the new media back in the day. This is
at this
new
point,
NBA.
But now I'll ask one follow-up question: Is RJ better than Brandon Ingram?
Yes.
Who's better?
Yes. Money wise, a team can swallow RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is probably better in the clutch moments. RJ Barrett is younger and better defense. So yeah, RJ is probably a better contract to swallow. You said it many occasions.
No. I didn't say contract to swallow. I didn't say contract swallow. I said better player.
Better player right now. More teams would want a RJ Barrett before they want a Brandon Ingram because he plays both sides of the ball and he's a 6'8", swing player that can handle the ball. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you're disregarding the fact that Brandon Ingram's coming off an All-Star year, right?
You and I both know that All-Star appearance only came because someone was injured. They were giving Brandon Ingram that All-Star appearance unless someone got injured. So good try, nice try there, nice try. Coming off an All-Star appearance, everybody can say, "Hey, you just slipped right in there." So cool down, buddy. And we know it. Come on, Kai, let's stay bad.
Well, hey, we gotta wait and see if it happens.
For some reason, you're trying to put some obstacles in front of this Kawhi trade. I'm not sure why. You've seen many trades happen right this offseason, and your benchmark should have been the Kawhi trade. You've seen what the Giannis trade. You've seen what Giannis went for.
Yes.
So if Giannis went for that bag, can Kawhi really demand more? Come on. If we're going based on that benchmark, then you have to see eye to eye.
Each negotiation is different, man.
Barrett.
Each negotiation is different, right? And again, I don't trust in the Raptors general. Do you trust in the Raptors general manager?
No.
I don't have much belief in Bobby Webster. So again, I could see him overpaying or making a foolish move. This is the same guy who signed up Jakob Poeltl for 5 more years, right? At nearly $30 million.
I'm looking for any movement in the right direction. If we can get Kawhi Leonard, think about it. The pieces that are missing will find itself. We have a strong foundation if we get Kawhi. Kawhi, Scotty Barnes. I'm sure you'll be happy with that. I'm definitely happy with that. Those two alone will do what Cade Cunningham has done all year last year. Those two alone win games, get us in the playoffs, and you know what? Any given Sunday when if
Kawhi is healthy for the playoff stretch, yes, that's impactful.
Over.
But the Raptors still don't have a center, a point guard.
We got the yak attack, and again. It's still the off season, Maybe Jakob Poeltl gets in the gym and he gets a season that's healthy. You never know.
Wow.
Let's just think about it.
The yak attack. I am done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that Kawhi Leonard will be a Toronto Raptor by the end of this week, and if that can happen, and we get rid of RJ Barrett, not Brandon Ingram, because I'm sure that Brandon Ingram would love to stay in Toronto. The money, yes, seems like a lot, but I'm sure that we can make the money work. If this does come to place, Kawhi, Scotty, Brandon Ingram would be problem in the Eastern Conference. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, last word.